Welcome to iRacing in the Cadillac CTSV at Laguna Seca, where dreams come to die. There's a lot of talk these days that people, and especially young men, feel no sense of purpose or identity in their lives. Have you ever felt this? I definitely have. Then I grew up and read a book. Purpose and identity are important, no doubt. We all want to feel like we're working towards something that will give us a reward. Money, fame, a really nice ham and cheese sandwich with a nice crispy tomato and lettuce and just a dash of hot mustard. No? Just me on that one? Yeah, whatever, you bunch of narcs. But the reality of purpose and identity is they only exist if we make them for ourselves. Why don't we begin with where most of us start looking for these wily and elusive ideas? I won't spend any time on kids because they don't have enough lived experience to accurately define purpose or identity. Most teens, aside from the few that really have their lives together, think they're going to be famous, which is bullshit. It's not going to happen for you, or me, for most of us. Very few of us will ever make it as entertainers, athletes, or in any other celebrity-type positions in life. So traditionally, by the time you're maturing into your 20s, most people recognize that fame is not knocking on their door, and they become some level of responsible adult that contributes to society in a positive way. Then they fucking die. Speaking of dying, the thing that we all do, that might be our only true purpose, maybe? Well, okay, I guess, frankly, from a purely pragmatic perspective, the only purpose that we serve during our lives would be to proliferate or otherwise advance the species in some way. Not to say that anyone who has chosen to opt out of procreation is bad or wrong. They're not. But if you feel no sense of purpose or identity in your life, maybe that's a you problem, and the best way to correct it is to create your own. We have been told and reinforced our whole lives that our identity is what we do for work, where we went to school, or where we went to church. Do these things define you? They sure as fuck don't define me. I mean, I love my local sports team. I identify as a fan. Does that make it my identity? No, that would be silly. I still wear their merch and attend games, and I cheer on my own terms, which means I go, woo, using my normal volume voice when they do a good thing. When I was growing up, I was in the traps of a traditional small-town tough guy identity. I wanted to get a good job at a good company, buy a good car, and get a good wife and a good house. That was my goal. But at jobs, I acted like I knew it all. And people don't like that, as it turns out. I wanted a good wife, good romantic partner. But I didn't even want to tidy my room or wear nice clothes. And by nice clothes, I just mean not wearing jorts and band t-shirts. I always felt like attaining these things was my purpose. But I couldn't get them because I lacked identity. And I lacked identity because I had no purpose, right? It was definitely that I had no purpose, right? Like, that's why? Wrong. Definitely wrong. I lacked identity because I bought into the hype that all I needed to be was a big, strong man who works real hard and is mostly polite. I took a step back, I looked around at my life and my friends, and I looked inside to see if my inner child would approve of the person that I was. Spoiler alert, he did not approve. So I decided to recreate myself, and not in some like rich celebrity diva way, but in like a curved back nerd with a pen and a pad of paper and an ADHD imagination way. I wanted to take an inventory of my beliefs and my feelings to see where I was going wrong, and it turns out all of it. I was wrong about everything. I had been living purely for things or ideas, titles and status, focusing so much on what I didn't have, I was missing, that I was letting reality and life just pass me by. Once I saw how I was moving through life in ways I didn't value, I realized I needed to first define my own values, a system or a code, if you will. And turns out that was the easy part. I made up a rule, and I still live by it to this day, which is, it's kind of wordy, but bear with me. I support your right to do or say whatever you want or need to actualize on your own terms, as long as what you do and say does not infringe upon anyone else's right to do the same. Basically, don't be a dick, and I will respect you and I will treat you with kindness and thoughtfulness. That was the easy part. From there, I started to read a lot, everything: news, philosophy, art, nation, cultures, history, government, politics, business, everything. I just started reading every day, all day. That's what I would do. When I wasn't working, I was reading. How can I define a value system or a code for myself if I'm totally uninformed, if I'm just some uninformed rube in a small town in Canada? Then the hardest part of all, I realized most of my friends, people that I had grown up with, gone to school with, experienced many of my first big moments in life with, were also kind of scummy. And not, I don't want to say bad, like we weren't like criminal, like violent, just kind of, just right wing, I guess. So, when I was still 19, I think, I ditched everything in my life and I moved across country. I was recreated. So why don't traditional avenues and pathways to identity like work, church, and school work anymore? Because the world is too small and accessible now. Your identity being derived solely from your status or chosen community, it never really worked because it's false. It worked for a while because everyone was so insulated from each other, they didn't know that it doesn't work, and that everyone feels that secret sadness inside. But the reason it doesn't work is because it's you trying to turn the thing or an idea into your identity and sense of purpose. You're not your job or your church or your school. You're a living, breathing, thinking, loving, and shitting human. Your identity comes from within and reveals what drives you towards a sense of purpose. For me now to maintain a sense of identity and purpose, basically since late 2017, early 2018, at all costs, I have avoided the temptations and ego stroking of social media and devices, drugs, food, labubus, video games, religion, all of it. These are all distractions, except YouTube. Never ever leave YouTube. Stay here for every waking hour of your life. Watch Asmongold and Mr. Beast clips until you die of starvation. This is your purpose. This is the only purpose. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah. So I don't mean to say that like you shouldn't have hobbies, like video games or church, I guess is your thing or whatever. Collecting Labubus, which I still don't really know what they are. I just know that my girlfriend talks about them sometimes. I mean, I wouldn't recommend drugs as a hobby. So, yeah, you know, live your truth for sure, but like it's statistically a terrible hobby. As for social media and devices, yeah, they're garbage. They're garbage and they're rotting your brain. They're rotting everyone's brain. They've already rotted our brain. Turn them off. Just don't look. Turn it off. But it means that, you know, if your hobbies are the crux of your identity, you have a fake identity and as such, no purpose. What actually builds identity? Daily self-reflection, owning your mistakes and learning from them, cultivating your mind, body, and spirit in a way that pleases you and makes sense, sharing with others, both things and experiences, both negative and positive. We are communal beings, never forget it. We achieve so much more together. Maybe the biggest thing is be vulnerable. Say yes to scary experiences. The more you learn, the more you know. The more you know, the easier it is to understand the world around you. Be critical of everything, but cynical of nothing. As for me, like, look, I've already done this work. It took ages, but I started late. The sooner you do it to it, the more you lean in with vulnerability and sincerity, the easier it becomes. Just like murder, or at least that's what I'm told. But yeah, soon enough, you won't be lamenting a life lacking identity and purpose, because you're gonna be too busy being the person others want to identify as, because they're a person who lives with purpose. So yeah, I guess if you made it this far, you have once again ignored what I've said and wasted so much time, but it's on a YouTube video. So like I said, don't ever leave YouTube, right? Like never. That's not your goal, is to stay here forever. You watch Hassan Piker and H3 videos and Pegasus videos until you're dead. That's it. Oh, and body cam videos. You gotta watch Donut Operator reacting to body cam videos, because your life will not be complete. You want to talk about a sense of purpose, man. That's my purpose. I wake up every day and say, I cannot wait for that new Donut Operator reacting to a body cam video. Wowee, what a time to be alive, you fucking goddamn degens. Just kidding. I love you. Thanks for watching.